Okay, and we are live again. You guys, this is like the third day in a row. It's kind of fun, right? Okay, so I am kind of in like, I'm like, whoo, because it was probably like 4 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago that I realized I didn't actually have a sticker that was printed, like so that you guys can kind of see that part of it, like, as far as the prep work goes. I was thinking, hey, we're going to learn how to draw a sticker. And I kind of forgot that I should have like that part of it done. So I literally did it in like 5 minutes. So that means it's super easy for you to do too. All right. So again, my name is Jen Swift, and I'm super excited to have you guys here. This is part of Love Week, where we're talking about Procreate and Cricut, kind of the way that they combine and kind of how obsessed I am about that. Yeah. So let's see. We've got anybody here. We've got a few people. Oh, my mom is here. Barbara's here. Linda. Yep. I hope that goes well for you. Gina's here. Okay, Judy, Michelle. Like I said, Diana, she's in an old monastery. That is so cool. We want to all go hang out with Diana. Okay, Trina, Shonda. Okay, so there's a lot of people here. Casey Scraps. Okay, and Sonia and Nancy. You guys, thanks for joining me again for this. So this is kind of like another good intro one. Oh, Tanya's here too. So another good intro, like basic to like why sticker or Procreate and Cricut are so cool together. And I think this is the one that most people actually kind of identify or see first, because they're like, oh, I like to make stickers, and stickers are so fun and little and cute. And it's fun to have your own stickers. And there's part of us that had Trapper Keepers back when we were a kid. They're all like, and traded stickers, and we're all like, ooh, stickers. So there's definitely nostalgia there, I think. But then I also like the fact that they're just little pieces of art. And if you print them on the printable vinyl now, they're easy to put on your tech. So it's a cool, have you seen people at cafes? Like they have really cool, like on their laptop covers, they've got all these stickers. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it's an easy way to kind of differentiate yourself. And I've seen a lot of tags nowadays that have like stickers that can kind of come off, and that's been fun too. Oh, Casey Scraps is Kathy. Yeah, so it's just like, I feel like it's just there's a lot of fun in a really little tiny thing. So it sounds like we're looking like we're still getting some people popping on. Cynthia and Brenda, thank you guys for coming. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to just draw a sticker using some stamps and some cool brushes in Procreate. So if you haven't seen it yet, down in the description of this video, I added a link to a sticker set, a mini sticker set. Now you can grab it now or you cannot. That's totally fine. This is going to be a replay. And I know a lot of people would rather watch than try to watch and do. So if that's like, I totally get that. That's awesome. But I just wanted to let you know that that is right there in the description right now. If you would like to know, how to import the brush set, I actually will show you that really quickly because it's easy, and I'm assuming this is for beginners. So let's go over to my iPad, and we're going to go and get started. P.S. Mom, I'm really glad you're here. I've been trying to get my mom to do Procreate for forever, so we'll see. All right, let's go. All right, so we are in Procreate, and again, I just got this kind of started up kind of last minute here. I have issues with brush sets. I really like making them, and they're just really, really fun. But then, yeah, I get distracted. So I was working on it this morning. So anyways, we have this Love to Craft, which is kind of the basic sticker that we're doing today. If you go to, you're on your Procreate gallery. It's the first when you open it up. And you can just go over here to this little plus sign. And then if you want to just go ahead, you can grab screen size for this. It doesn't really matter. I like to make square canvases. Or for Cricut stickers, I actually had a canvas that was kind of like the right size for Cricut stickers. But that has changed. And so over the time, that's not been as much of a thing because Cricut's changed their print and cut sizes. So I have all that information about that specific Cricut, Cricut size canvas over in my blogs, or my blog at wellcraftedstudio.com. I've got a how to make stickers tutorial. So I think for today, what we're going to do though, is we're just going to maybe do a square canvas And so we're going to come up to the little plus sign here. There's a rectangle. And I'm just going to say 6 by 6 for this one. So we go to inches, and then it has height, and then height width. Oops, I wanted that to be 6 too. And then 300 dpi is cool. And then we're just going to say create. And so we've got we probably would have called it 6 by 6 300 dpi, just so I knew when I was looking what canvas it was. So that just opens us up right away. But if I ever wanted to go back to that canvas, if I go to that plus in the corner again, it's going to show up at the very bottom here, and it'll say, and then I can just tap it, and then that opens it up again. So that's kind of an easy thing. But Procreate does have a default up here with the plus where it says screen size. So yeah. Okay, so go back to this. All right, so what I do have, oh yeah, and I'm going to show you. So if you save to your iPad in iCloud Drive here, let's see, iCloud Drive, I'm losing my voice. I have the mini V-Day zip right here. That's what you would have gotten when you downloaded. You just tap that and it opens it. You tap it again and it imports it. And now if you open your brush library, it'll be at the very top. So this is what we've got. We've just got a few different stamps and then some fun line brushes, a scatter brush, my background brush, which I love all the time, and I'll show you that, a soft pencil, a scallop brush, and then some chalk brushes, and then there's a watercolor brush and a glitter brush. So just kind of some fun things for you. Is that Kenna? Huh, that's so awesome. If it's the Kenna I think it is that Washington Kenna? All right, anyways, I'm super excited. Okay, yeah, so super cute brush set. So it's a mini brush set. So we've got a few different things going here. But what we're going to be working with right now is this candy heart. So I'm just going to tap that. So it's got selected. So if you tap, then you can select it. And then I can adjust the size of it right here like this. So here I am. Just tapped it kind of right in the middle. And so now you can see layer 1 has that heart. Now I can swipe left on it and say duplicate. And then I'm tap the one underneath. And then I'm going to tap that little arrow. Maybe I'll make this closer. Can you guys see this? Aww. Bye, honey. All right. Kenna is my son's girlfriend, and she's the super cutest, sweetest thing in the world. So it was nice to see you pop on. All right, so I just took this. What I did is I tapped the arrow, and then I pulled it down, and I'm going to pull it down to just kind of off to the side a little. And you see how it's kind of snapping right now? That's because I have snapping on down here. So if you want to turn that off, you can get a little bit more delicate of a touch. If you want to turn it on again, you just go ahead and turn those on. So I do have it turned on a lot, but sometimes getting that really slight movement is difficult with it, so I'll turn it off. All right, so what we have here now is if I tap layer 1 on the end and draw it back, you can see that I actually have one layer on top of another layer. So there's 2 layers here, and what that means is that I can come here and I can erase. I'm just going to show you guys this because it's cool. I can erase what I want from that bottom layer without the top layer getting erased. So that's just kind of fun. Now I can go to my little arrow tool again and say warp. And I can just tip. See these little blue lines here? So I can grab anywhere on here and it'll kind of just let me just nudge this just a little bit. See how cool that is? So what that did is it allowed me, I'm going to do it again down here just a little bit. It allowed me to make just a little bit slight modification so that this really looks like it's 3-dimensional. Now I'll go back to this and turn the opacity to the end and turn the opacity all the way up. What did you guys think? Oh, so it's a really super simple, but I think it's kind of just a fun thing. Okay, so what we can do now is we can go ahead and we can merge that layer. So this is what we've got right now. And I'm looking at it and it looks like this is sticking up a little bit here. So again, I can just go to my arrow and just nudge that down just a wee bit, just so that it kind of visually looks right to me. Okay, so we've got our little candy heart, and actually those hearts are kind of thick. So what I might want to do, so I'm finger tapping to undo. So I wanted to get back to that layer, and what I'm going to do with this bottom layer is I'm just going to try to make it a little straighter there. So that it looks just a little bit more three-dimensional. Oops. Go back to my eraser. There's a little bit there. Okay, so now we're going to go back to layer N, and we're going to up the opacity. And there you can kind of see where it's starting to look a little bit more square. And I can take this one if I wanted. Oops, nope, sorry. The top layer, and nudge that just a bit. And then, yeah, I think that's looking pretty three-dimensional. So right here, we've got us like a 3D heart, like a little sweet candy. So now what we can do is we can go and we can duplicate it a couple times if we want. And we have multiples. Oh, I'm going to go back to uniform. Oops, and I wanted to merge that. That's right. All right, so merge down. And now we have this, and we can do multiples. But actually, let's just go ahead here and let's start coloring this. So we're going to swipe left on this and say duplicate. And then we're going to go and we're going to color drop a color. What color should we choose? Let's do a pretty pink. I want a pretty pink. So on the outside here is kind of the orange and the red and the hues. So if I want kind of a sweet tart pink, I think I have to go towards the oranges more. And then we go like that. And now what we can do is we can just color drop, which is just we take the color and we drop it down. And I'm just going to show you guys what that looks like. So that looks pretty cool. Now if I wanted to, I could go, so I wanted you guys to kind of see like, so I'm just going to color drop into the outline as well. And if I keep my tip down and slide it right, you can see how that actually, you can actually see how that changes it. So let's do that again. Into the outline and then to the right. And so we still have the defined lines, but now they kind of look like they're part of the color of the sweet tarts. So that's pretty cool. All right, I don't know if that is sweet tart color. Let's go maybe a little pinker. So let's see. This is why actually usually what I do is I grab my colors first. That's better. And so I'll actually create a palette and then pick out my colors ahead of time. I could probably find a palette that I have that is a little bit more sweet tarty. And you guys can grab these usually from my free library. Let's see. I think that boho light, that one might be good. So to choose that one, I'll just, or make it show up on my thing, I'll say set as default. I'll go back to that disc, and now they're all right there, which is kind of cool. Okay, so palette, I've got some colors already chosen now, so I'm not going to be kind of figuring out quite as I go, which is always like a really, it's a good way of kind of like getting into a creative flow. So we've got our design, we've got some color to it, now let's add some texture. So we're going to go and grab another plus, and this time we're going to come down here to the chalk brush. And we're going to go and we're actually going to make this a little bit lighter by pulling it to the left. And then, let's see, are we in a new layer? We are. We're going to make a brush really big, and we're just going to go over it. And now we're going to go back to layers, and we're going to say clipping mask. And we're going to go to the N and dial it back a little bit. And what that does is it gives us kind of a fun texture. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then we can go again with another one. And maybe we want to go a little bit lighter. And this time we can do it again. Make the brush a little bit bigger, go over it. And then again, we're going to tap the layer and say clipping mask. And again, we're going to go with the N. And we're just again changing that a little bit. So it's just kind of real simple and fun. Now, this is like another cool thing is we can go to our chalk brushes. Oops, and I have a flat side of chalk, which apparently that was supposed to be chalk. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go here and right along the edge. Oops, I need to be on a new layer. Right along the edge here, I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of white. Oops. And just kind of get like a little fun kind of edge like that. And again, I can tap that end and like bring it down a little bit. And you can see how we're starting to get kind of a fun look. So let's go do that again down here, but maybe with a smaller brush. So I made it a little smaller. Like so. And so you can kind of see how it's starting to kind of come together. And it's just kind of fun and sweet. Okay, so now what we're going to do is another layer. And this time with that same chalk brush, we're going to write love. What did they say in Sweet Tarts? What are you guys' favorite Sweet Tart ones? The sayings. Is it chat me? Or let's see. Is it, so I love to craft. I know that there's like a lot of ones that are just kind of silly, but I'm blanking on them now. So guys tell me what some of your favorite Sweet Tart sayings are. I think there was a call me for a while. And there's a text me, wasn't there? Ooh, kiss me. Kiss me is a good one. All right, so now what I can do, this is kind of fun too, is I can just go ahead and create a new layer. And this time I can say kiss me. And if I need to like move it a little bit, I can do that because I'm on another layer. This is where layers are just gorgeous. Now, this is fun too. I can tap the N. And again, that brings up the opacity, so we could play with that just a bit. But we can also go ahead and just spin through these a little. Let me pull the opacity up so you can see. It's kind of funny because it's like some of them do things and some of them don't. And I know why they do what they do, but you don't really need to know. You can just spin them and just see. So this one is a soft, it softened it up a little bit. Color dodge is a little different. Sometimes you get some really weird, like really fun effects, and you might find something you like better than what you even have. So I actually use overlay a lot. And then we'll just go and dial back the opacity a little bit. And you guys can see how like simple and fun that is. Cutie pie. Ooh, cute. Yep, be mine. Gina's thinking of the originals. Yep. Yeah, and you know, the fun thing is you can personalize it, right? So you have something you want to say, like, I don't know, you suck. You can do that too, right? I mean, you can be silly. I don't know that you'd want to put that in a Sweet Tart, but I was trying to think of something a little different, and apparently that just came to mind. All right, so you guys kind of get that idea. And that's like as simple as it is. Now, to go ahead and make a sticker from this, what you're going to do is you're going to go to that background color and you're going to uncheck it. That makes the background transparent. And so what we can do now, we have a couple options. We can just go ahead and see how there isn't a ton of really like loose light stuff here around the edges. So Cricut has a problem not knowing where to cut sometimes. And these pixels drive it nuts because it's trying to go by the pixels and it's like, woo. But it might be okay with this. And the easiest thing at this point is just to go ahead and go to the share and save it as a PNG and then bring it into Cricut like this. But a lot of times because of those little, quirks that Cricut has, oh, and look at, I have an extra mark there. So Cricut would have tried to cut that out too. So it's always good to just turn the background off and check. But what else I can do is I can go ahead and I can go and swipe right on all of these. And then I can say group. And I can swipe left again and say duplicate. And then I'm going to take that one, I'm going to flatten it. So now what I'm going to do is, so this is all my layers. I still have them here, but I don't need them. So I'm just going to turn those off. And the reason I did this is because I'm going to go ahead and create another layer and put it right underneath. And then I'm just going to go and tap this one. So this is another method of making a sticker background. So that's where we're going to go to that sticker background brush right here. We want to make sure we're on white. And there's a white up here, but you can also, just to be sure, you can come to the little value one and just make sure that these are far right as they go. Okay, so we know we're on white. And so now what we can do is we can just go ahead and go around our sticker like that, color drop into it, and yeah, we could do it better. Now yesterday I showed you how to do quick shape, so that would be cool because you can just go ahead and like round it off like so, and you can go like this, and there's another curve here. So quick shape again is I'm just keeping my tip down. You can do quick shape for lines. I forgot to tell you guys that yesterday. So here we go. And we've got kind of a background, and because we're using that background brush that has a really hard edge to it, Cricut's going to be able to read that a lot easier. So we want to bring our heart all the way back to the opacity, and now I can go ahead and take that, I'm on layer, the white layer again, so I can take that, what do you call it, the ribbon tool. And no, I can go to the sorry, my brain today. The arrow tool, I'm going to go to warp. And now this is where I can kind of like, so I just had my basic thing there, and now I can kind of tweak it a little bit. If I need to get it to be a little bit better, I can go to advanced mesh, or a little bit more detailed. Go to advanced mesh, and then I can just kind of, you know, so you can see how I didn't do that great of a job, but I can go ahead and do that. If I want to, I can go and grab, you know, kind of like so. And so that's a very, you know, especially with simple shapes, that's an easy way to do it. Now I do have a really super cool way, which is like the best way, but I don't want to show it to you guys because you might get like too, if this is like for beginners, you know. But I have another video. I'm going to tease it to you and tell you that I have a video here in my Well-Crafted Studio channel that actually shows you how to do the super fast way, which is super cool. But for now, again, all you really need to know is that you can just draw a hard lined shape behind your sticker and you're golden. Or you can just try to go ahead and like not even do that background shape, and maybe you just want to clean up this a little bit, oops, with an eraser, and then you might not have any problems just bringing this into Cricut as is. Sometimes I get kind of a hard line with my and I don't like that. And so what I'll do is if you hold down on your eraser, then what it does is it sets the eraser brush at whatever your last brush was that you were using. The erasers are like brushes. So actually if I wanted a chalk brush, then what happens here is that now I can go ahead and erase, but it's going to have not that super hard line. It's going to have a softer line because it's using the same brushes that I use for this. So I'm able to erase without getting a harsh line. It's erasing with finesse. Oops. Oh, I accidentally bumped my opacity. I was like, why is this not working? So that happens sometimes. And so did you see how it really wasn't, it was kind of doing what it was supposed to do, but not really? So there we go. So that actually probably, we can try this. This probably would import to Cricut Design Space without having to do the background shape. So again, what we do is we go to, but if we were going to do it like this with the background shape, we could just turn that on. We don't have to merge them. We don't have to put them together because Cricut's going to take whatever, or Procreate's going to take whatever's on the screen and share that. Like, so if I had all the things on, it would share all the things. So we don't have to share each layer, I guess is what I'm saying. So now we can say save to files or save image. I usually do save to files because then I can pop over to my desktop and pull it up as a sticker. Or pull it up in Cricut Design Space as a sticker. So I'll say save. And that is as easy as it is. All right. A winking eye in the center. Oh, that would be cute. That would be super cute. All right, sorry. So that's why having those layers is still really helpful because Now I can come in here, because if I had like merged everything and flattened things, then I couldn't change this. But as it is, I can just turn off the Kiss Me. I can go grab another layer, make sure I'm on my chalk brush, a flat side chalk, and then make this smaller. And I can do something like that. And so if I wanted to make it a little bit more like so. So, I mean, something like that is just, it's cute, right? I mean, we can do whatever we want, and that's the fun part. Okay, so let's just go ahead here, and we're going to create a new layer. And now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to uncheck the visibility of that one. And I'm going to come up to the new layer, and I'm going to turn my background on again because I'm going to show you guys something else quick. All right, so I have a background paper here. And so what that does, if we go to kind of a lighter cream color, let's move this over here. What it does is it gives you kind of a fun background. I don't know if you guys can see that really well. Oops. Let me pull this down a little bit. You guys can see better if I lower my brightness a little bit. So let me see. You still can't see it very well. Okay, so it's pretty subtle, but you can see it in like real life better. But so this is just a background brush. So what it does is it's going to give us this kind of texture. And you can just go all over like this, or another trick is to just use the 2 fingers and make your canvas small so that it's easier to go over like so all at once. So then you don't get like overlap and stuff. So we have kind of a cream texture. If you wanted to change the color and make it a little lighter, we can move it like this and then color drop into the whole layer. That totally works. Grab a new layer, and then we can say, let's try maybe the love letter. So I'm going to take another color, and maybe I'll just make a blue this time. And I can change the size of it. And there we go. And if I want to kind of, I can color drop into it white now. I don't love that. So usually in all my palettes I have a true white down there, just to kind of like have that easy and accessible. So we've got our little love letter here, and now we can come here with the heart. So if we want to grab another layer, layers, grab another layer, get the heart, and then we can go ahead and change the size of that, put it right there if we want. And I'm still in white. There we go. Can drop into that. And then again, it's pretty, you know, we're going for kind of a little artsy style, and it's kind of a little bit of plain shaped, which is actually, I mean, it's kind of fun. But if we wanted to go ahead and mess it up a little bit, again, we can take that chalk brush and we can go and get a lighter shade of the same color that we were just using. And we can go over it like that. And then tap the layer again and say clipping mask. And that gives it just a slight texture again, which is kind of fun. Gives us that more artsy feel. Okay, so we have our little hearts, and now we can go ahead again and we can say, we can write on it love letter if we want. It might be fun to do this. Take the scallop brush, on a new layer. I always like to do new layers. So the scallop brush is kind of fun. Now what we can do is we go to the eraser and we can make it big. But we want to go to, I like to have my sticker background brush be my eraser because I do like the hard edges usually. And then erase this. And then we can just go ahead again and we can nudge it close if we want, so it follows the shape a little bit better. You can see like that's pretty, that's cute. I like it. Do you guys like it? It is fancy, isn't it? Okay, so that's kind of just how you would do it. So I mean, again, we can just go ahead and play with it. We can add, you know, some text to it if we wanted to. I do have like another little this is a heart line stamp for you. So you can go, and if you wanted to go like so, you could. Yesterday I was talking to somebody and I was complaining about how a lot of times with these stamps, the first one will start to kind of twist with the line stamps. But she figured out that if you keep your tip down with the line stamps, that it actually straightens out that last one. That is usually wonky. It's actually really cool. So I was like super excited. But here you go. You can kind of see how, you know, just using that is just kind of a fun thing. I also got you guys a confetti brush. So if I grab another layer here and pull it down behind, because we can move our layers behind our envelope, and let's say we can go ahead and do small or large, just kind of all over hearts. And they're going to change a little bit in color. So whatever color you choose as your color that you're using, it's going to take that as the basis of it, and then just kind of do a slight variation in tone. So that's kind of fun too. All right, so this is just, you know, again, me just trying to like show you guys kind of how fun this could be. Now this would be like a great square sticker if we wanted to, and we could write love letter up here. Or you could write to and from. So if we even have our big, we can say to you, and we'd have to move that up. But, you know, something easy and fun, and then this could print out as a square sticker if we wanted to. So, okay, so that's that. I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit more because I just did it, but I think the candy bar could be really cute. Like you could do something like, you know, says something sweet. You could start putting them together like in, what's here? Is this the one I did? So I was just kind of starting to play a little bit with overlapping some things. This is where I was just kind of basically starting to sketch out what I wanted the things to look like. So it kind of gives you guys an idea. Here I just added some patterns, so some different things, and I was just playing. But yeah, okay, so now we're going to move over to Cricut Design Space. Let's see. And Cricut Design Space. Where is Cricut Design Space? It's not showing you Cricut Design Space. Having technical difficulties. Cricut Design Space. Oh, I think I need to do... There we go. All right. Gina's husband wants one that says eat me. That's funny. Okay, I need to Procreate, so I'm really looking forward to the class. Oh, Veronica, I'm so sorry. Oh, and Kathy's here too. Kathy, you missed it. My son's girlfriend, who I'm completely in love with, was on earlier and made me feel super cool. And not really old at all. So my mom's here, and then all the really cool people are here because you guys are all the super cool people. All right, so we just went through a little bit on like how to draw a quick little sticker. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go actually and start a new, I go back to my canvas here. Let's see, actually, I'm going to say new window. So I can start you guys off at the beginning here. And we're going to go to new project, and then down here to upload. And when I do that, I can say upload image, and then I can take, so I'm going to go to my iCloud Drive, and here's the one we just did. I'm just going to drag it in there, and I'm going to say continue. There we go. Say flat graphic, and upload. Okay, so this is the one that we just did with the sticker background. Now, this is one that I did just a little bit ago that I brought in that had kind of, when I was telling you could kind of clean up the sides and then you weren't going to get like a much of, you'd have no soft edge, but this one Cricut can read really well. So I don't know if I can make this up so you guys can see. Like there really is kind of a hard line here, even though the original design looks really soft. And that's because I went with an eraser and went all the way around it. So that's kind of what you need to do in order to get Cricut to be able to use its really super cool sticker thing. So this is in beta, Cricut Sticker Maker. I think it is a Cricut Access only thing. You can do something similar with offset, but we're just going to say die cut. And we're going to say we want a standard border, and then we can say apply. But if you notice here, see how there it is kind of grabbing a little bit of an edge. It's not super smooth. And that's because, you know, the sticker itself, it's going right by the outline. So what we were able to do by making our own outline is we were able to give it, you know, like some of those kind of, you know, a little bit more imperfections because it's an artsier thing. We were able to like kind of tell it to ignore that. But this works fine too. Okay, so then we would just go ahead and say, yeah, cool, we're good with that. And it has a black outline, but that black outline won't show when we go to print. So it's just showing you that that's the cut line there. All right, so we have our basic design. Something else about the print and cut stickers is you can go ahead and open it up, and you can still take the original design if you want and duplicate it, and then see how I have my original design, even though it's, yeah. So even though it's in the sticker thing, I could still go ahead and manipulate that original design if I'd like some. So yeah, anyhow, let's go ahead here and try it with a die cut. And then we're going to say wide. We could do that, or we could do custom. Or another thing that we can do, which is kind of fun with the sticker here, is we can do kiss cut, but we can do it and we can give it a thing, and then we can do die cut edge. And what that does is it cuts a kiss cut here, which means it doesn't go all the way through, but then it kiss cuts all the way around and does make it like, you know, so it goes all the way through. So it's die cut along the edge, kiss cut in the middle, and we can say apply. Okay, now I just realized what I did before when I showed you that other window and then I hit it. I have not cut this yet, so it's a very good thing that I did not close out of this. Okay, so we're going to say we've got the Cricut printable sticker paper actually with the vine or holographic. So we'll say that one, and then we'll go back over here and I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like. Oh, and then I would go ahead and what I would say here is I would say print. So it says already printed, but if I did send to printer, then what you can do is you can say add bleed, but because you're putting a sticker border, what it would bleed would be the sticker outline, which is white anyways. So you don't actually need that. If you were going to try to do something that was a die cut image for like scrapbooking and you wanted to have a really close cut to it that like didn't show any white possibly at all, then like you could do the bleed, and that's fine. You can go ahead and just do it as is, but I usually turn on this use system dialog, and the reason I do that is because I have a printer that will do the rear feed, which helps it to just pull the paper through instead of having to turn it. I will say though that with the new Cricut sticker paper, you don't need a rear feed. They've made it really thin and slippery so that it won't jam. So that's kind of a cool thing. All right, so I would just go ahead and say print, and it's going to print. And actually, if you do the system dialog, it pops up in a new window. So I might have to get back to it here. Get to it, right? But you can see it right here. Or maybe you can't see it because it's not showing it. Sorry. I think you're seeing me because I had it set to current application. All right. So that is so easy. So I just went in and was going to tell you guys there's some like different, you know, so the different types of like edges influence the type of sticker background border and how easily Cricut reads that. So that is like a total Cricut thing. And it's really, there's easy ways to get around it, like I said. Kathy said, are the brushes in your library? They're not in the library. They're actually in the description because I finished them about 5 minutes before we started this. I'm so cool. Not. That's so ADHD. Okay, so in my mind, I knew what I was going to do for it. And so in my mind, it was done. And so like an hour ago, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I was going to do that. so I didn't actually do it. So yeah, so you guys have a mini brush set that's in the description. Barbara's got to run, catch the replay, and then yeah, we're doing something fun tonight too. Okay, so there we go. Cool fun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into Cricut Design Space just really quick here. Or no, we're going to go to my top down so I can show you what it looks like. And then we will cut our sticker and you guys can see. So here it is. So Cricut, oops, I got a little picture in picture. You don't even see me. So Cricut has, so it puts these registration lines, and now it actually has this little arrow thing here, so it goes up. And I had my mat. Where did my mat go? Yeah, that was cool. All right, for everybody watching the replay, that was like my whole wall falling down as I was trying to get a mat for you. All right, so I'm just gonna put it on here. I like to use the blue, light green, or the light blue mat because it's like good with paper. But sometimes it gets not sticky enough and things kind of shift. And then it helps to go ahead and use this, or you can also put some painter's tape around it. Now again, with these thinner sheets with Cricut, they go on really well. Okay, so I forgot to tell you. So with the Cricut sticker sheets, a lot of times they have something like, they either have these, so this one is just the plain water, this makes the stickers waterproof. They also have holographic ones, but it's an easy thing to apply these. So I'm just going to show you kind of quick. So what you can do is you can just line them up like this, like so. Put your hand down, peel this back, then peel this off. And just kind of smooth it, like so. Now, you can flip this, and you pull this, and you just kind of hold it here. And then you can just kind of pull and smooth. And if you want, these are very handy. These have a felt tip edge, and then you can just kind of helps you smooth. So I have a little bit of bubbles here. Nothing goes perfect when I'm showing you guys because I'm actually kind of nervous. Surprise! All right, so I'm just gonna line it up here, like so. Again, I love the brayers for sticking stuff down, and it helps the adhesive stick evenly. And then we would pull this out, just load it under the brayer here, or under these little tabs, and then push go, or load. And then when it blinks, I can press the little arrow. And while that's cutting, I will talk to you. So let's see, let's look at questions. Where do you find the descriptions for the brush sets? Oh, sorry, not the description. And Jen, don't ever feel bad, or Jennifer, about asking questions. So when I say, when I say description, I mean for this YouTube video. And so it is, sometimes it says more. So it starts talking and then it says more, and then you can go ahead and see that there's more things. And I put a link right there. But what I will do also is I will go ahead and stick the brush set into my free library at wellcraftedstudio.com, so you'll be able to grab it there too. So Sonia says she likes the brayer too. Okay, I like didn't like buy the brayer for forever because it seemed kind of expensive for a tool, and I had like old printmaking brayers. They were a lot cheaper, but it's actually really nice because it's a little heavier, and that's kind of fun. And so it's very smooth. It's just, I mean, they tweaked it for what we wanted to do, even though it looks like a normal brayer. It's nice, a little wider. Cut settings for laminated stickers. So for stickers, I always would usually just do vinyl setting for Kiss Cut stickers. Cricut, since they redid their sticker paper, their sticker settings are actually pretty good, so you can just use those. It used to be that, so Cricut's sticker paper used to be cardstock weight, which was always throwing people off. And so that's why I would be using the vinyl. Oops, let me see here. Looks like it's almost done. Or it is done. So I would use the vinyl setting because the Cricut sticker paper setting was just, it didn't work because it was for cardstock. But now Cricut came out with this new line of sticker paper, which is actually really nice. It's all printable vinyl, and like I said, it's very thin. So, and it's kind of coated a little bit so that it'll go through and not jam, which is really nice. Okay. There are lots of other sticker papers that I love. I use the Zykoto and the Joy. I think Zykoto I use a ton. I like both their glossy and their matte. And I do have a kind of a blog post on what are like the different sticker papers and what their differences are, because vinyl sticker paper is much different than true sticker paper, because vinyl sticker paper is vinyl, and so it's easy to remove. It won't tear. Like if you think about the stickers that you have when you're a kid, you try to remove them and they just kind of tear. So that's the sticker paper. And the sticker paper, because it is paper, if you get it wet, it's just going to start to dissolve. Whereas in order to make any sticker waterproof or easily peelable, you want to use the sticker vinyl. So, or the printable vinyl, which if you look really closely, so it says sticker paper for like Cricut and a lot of them nowadays, but if you look at the material list, it's actually vinyl because of that. People just want it. They're not truly waterproof until you actually put some kind of laminate over them, like a laminate sheet. You can buy just the laminate sheets and do it yourself. You don't have to buy the sticker packs that Cricut does. I have links to all that on my Amazon, the things that I use. All right, Nancy has HTV matte sticker paper. Yeah, so I think that is a vinyl as well, so that's a good one. Cynthia uses the washi setting for stickers. So I have heard people doing that, so that's actually a really good tip too. It's kind of like, playing around with it a little bit. We kind of all just do our, what works for us. All right. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this looks like over here. So here we go. So I'm just going to double check that this is cut through. Oh, and it is. Okay. So I'm going to unload it. If it hadn't been cut through all the way, then what would have happened is I could have still pressed the go button and it would have just repeated it. Once you unload it and try to load it again to cut it over, it's always out just a little bit off. So it's super important to get into that habit. Okay, so here we go. Our first sticker. And you can see it has like kind of a slight edge to it. This is the one that I did before. But I mean, it's magical. It's stickers. It's so cool. So that is the sticker paper for Cricut. It does have the green lines and says Cricut. So if you're trying to do these professionally for people, you might want to go with like the Zykoto sticker paper because it's just plain on the back. It doesn't have Cricut's branding. So yeah, even the one that says waterproof, it's not truly waterproof unless it's printable vinyl and it has a coating on top of it. Because if you think about it, the ink isn't waterproof ink. You're just using your home printer. And so if the ink is exposed to water, I mean, even though it's in the vinyl a little bit, it still could, it's still not considered waterproof until it has that coating on top, which is the laminate. So yeah, anyhow. Let's see here. See any other questions, you guys? Yes. Yes, Gina, the squirrel session is part of my membership. And that's going to be open for people to join in a few months, or just we got some people that are in that are kind of beta testing it for me, which is pretty awesome. So we're kind of figuring that out. They're helping me a lot, which is actually great. So, all right, you guys. So tonight, So tomorrow we're actually going to be doing the let's see, is tomorrow's Thursday. So they're actually, it's a session tomorrow night, and this is the big like workshop. So this is an actual like I have you guys sign up and register for it, because it's actually I'm going to send a workbook out today so that you guys have that ready, and then you can kind of follow along and take notes. And it's actually, I actually prepare for it. So it's a big deal for me, and it's going to be all kind of these, I've kind of given you some tips along the way this week about like how to get Cricut and Procreate to like really do great together, because there's so much possibility. But this workshop is going to be like, I'm going to give you all the best tips and tricks so you guys can see that too. So that is going to be tomorrow night. And if you want to know more about my class, I'll be telling you a little bit more about that at the end of that period for anyone who's interested, because it's a super cool class. I'm super excited about it. All right. And happy to see that a lot of you guys in the chat are either taking the class or have taken the class, which is cool. All right. So I guess I will see you guys. And then after tomorrow, we're going to have a party on Saturday. Woohoo! Awesome, right? All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Make some stickers and go ahead and post them on in my Procreate for Cricut group if you want. That would be fun. All right. Bye, guys.